This is a job we just did. So we just finished cleaning the whole roof, and it's got two massive concrete tanks on the bottom, and you can't get in there to divert them. So we've had to put artificial diverters on the house itself. So lucky that this house has rain guards, otherwise it becomes a real messy problem when you got to cut them and cut down pipes and either put rain guards in or leak catchers in or put a extension in. So you always got to get permission, because the number one thing is they don't want chemicals in that tank. So let's have a look around what we did. So this one was quite easy. No down pipes on the front, so we can just put a bag, sleeve it up onto the pipe here, and then we just drop it down into the garden. So it's already run off the roof and it hasn't gone too far into the garden there. There's no we haven't rinsed the roof, so just had a phone call. We haven't rinsed the roof because we just want the chemicals to sit up there and dwell, because they've got a whole bunch of moss and lichen and stuff. So we're going to come back in a couple of days and knock all that off with the 8 gallon. We'll just use your shooter tip and knock all that off and rinse it down. That's if the rain doesn't do it for us, because there was a fair bit on this side of the roof. So once again, got a down pipe over here, so we bagged that one up, then dropped that one into the garden. But there's not much runoff, so that way there's not much going in the garden at the moment. It's all staying up in the roof, because what I do these roofs with a heavy soap mix, so it stays up on the tiles a lot longer, because we don't need to take them off the same day. So those bags are going to be on there for about a week, just to make sure the roof is all flushed, the gutters flush themselves. We've got a couple of big storms coming in this weekend, so it's like perfect time. I got this house here, and I got another house down the road that's all set up the same way. It's got bags on it as well, so those two roofs will be finished this weekend with all the storms coming in. But as you can see, we bagged that one up. It runs down here onto the concrete. So if any guys coming on or anybody want to know anything while I'm here, just let me know. But we just tape it up there. So we slid it up about 1 foot. We tape it up. We put a bit of tape around here and a bit of tape around the bottom there. That's to stop it from blowing around, because if it blows around, what it'll do is it'll tie itself into a knot, and then if you get a big downpour, it'll just smash it and it'll just sleeve off. So you need a bit of tape in the middle if you're going to leave it. We learnt that one the hard way, and we won't learn that one again. Once again, here we've done that one, taped up the top, tape down here, and then it just runs down to the garden there. So nice and easy. There's a down pipe just here, and then another one on the back side. So this one gets diverted all the way over to here. So just run a bit more extra plastic on this one. It comes down there. It's got 2 lots of tape, one there and one there again, and then just travels down there and comes out. So when we sprayed the roof, we had minimal overspray and minimal runoff, because I've sprayed a whole roof and that's all that's soaked into the ground there. It's because I use a high soap mix when I'm doing this types of roofs, because I know I've got about a week or so for it to flush off and clean off and get it all nice and clean for the customers. These are the concrete tanks. So these old houses have these big concrete tanks, and when they put these type of tanks in back in the day, there was never a diverter system where you can pull the plunger and the water can be diverted away from the tanks. So these two tanks are interlocked. So the water actually comes into this tank somewhere in the garden there. So we couldn't find, we looked around, but we couldn't find anything. And there's no dump pipes over this side. So we just decided to do the bags up the top. So as you can see, they've blocked off the overflow on this one. So that, which means it tells me all the water runs into this one, and then once this one gets full, it travels into the second tank, and then once the second tank's full, it overflows and runs down the hill. So we just have to wait. We just wait a week. The customer knows, so that's the biggest thing. And that way you can divert your rainwater, all the clean stuff off the roof, because by the time it rains one or twice, that'll flush out all those gutters. And the great thing about leaving the chlorine and the soap up there is it cleans out all the gutters at the same time. So, because a lot of those gutters will just be black, full of algae. So it's good that way as well. Gets all that all cleaned. So, yeah. Catch you later. I just thought I'd show you this because a lot of people have been asking about how we divert. The hardest thing is when they don't have the leaf catchers there. And then you got to cut the downpipe. You really want to get permission from the owner and say, right, if I'm going to cut this, it's going to be a $35 charge, or you can charge them $45 per pipe and put a leaf guard in. Those leaf guards only cost like 15, 25 bucks. And all you got to do is put a bit of glue on them and just put 2 wall screws in it. So let's have a look. So that way you can cut your pipe, makes it nice and neat for them, and it makes it easy for you next time you want to get into it. So you just have to drill a hole and then use one of those plugs that you nail in. You just nail in the little socket, and that way it's easy for you next time to divert the water. Because the worst thing is if you have to cut the pipe down the bottom, and then you got to put a black sleeve, one of those black rubber sleeves down the bottom. It just looks ugly. It's better to have a rain guard at the top. I've done it to 2 houses, but at the end of the day, they want the roof cleaned, and if that's the only way to ensure, see, even if you wash that roof with water, high pressure, and you just wash it off, all that garbage is going down into their tanks. It's going to cost them $1,000 to send somebody in to suck out the bottom of their tank and filter their water. So it's easier to pay you $500 to cut the pipes and put all the rain diverters in. So just remember that. Even get a quote from your local, hey, New Zealand, even get a quote from your local tank cleaners and see how much they charge to clean out the tanks. I guarantee it's $1,000, $1,200 to clean out the bottom of the tank, and you lose a fair bit of water doing it. So if it's $1,000 and you're only charging $50 a downpipe, you got maximum 9 downpipes on a large house. Some large houses might have 12. That's only $600 to do the whole lot. It's half the price of cleaning the tanks. Because I guarantee that $1,000 is only for 1 tank, not 2 tanks. And I've heard of somebody getting chlorine in a tank and it's cost $3,000 to flush it out, clean it out, and fix it up. So it's better off getting a $600 upcharge, if not walk off the job, because last thing you don't want to do is put all that crap into their tanks. So I really hope this video helps somebody, especially a new guy or an old guy. It doesn't really matter, just as long as it helps somebody from getting a big bill at the end of the day, because I know I had, when I did the black plastic like that, I didn't put the strips, the 2 strips down the bottom, bit extra tape for the wind. I had one twist up on me. Then we had a big rain on the next day. We had a big downpour and it just ripped it straight off the socket. We had chlorine go into the tank. We were there quick enough to flush it out the next day. And we got a water truck up there the next day with 12,000 litres and topped up that tank. So that job ended up costing me $500. So I only made $200-300 on that job. So I learned a lesson. I try and teach you guys a lesson. If you don't want to listen, that's fine with me. Thanks for watching. Subscribe. And hopefully I can teach you something along the way. I'm a disappointment. Thanks, mate. Catch you later.